everybody, it's Lynelle of Lynelle's Adventures, and this is going to be a short, unedited film, so I say a lot of uhs and ums. It's because I got a lot to say, and I'm starting to sneeze because I'm sitting outside on my front porch in not so sunny Aurora, Colorado. So, my life has changed drastically, like in a second. Nothing bad, but it's kind of weird for me anyway. Um, just to let people know, I'm 61. I'll be 62 in January. Uh, I've been working constantly since I was 13 years old, with the exception of 8 months back in 2016, 2017, when I was laid off and looking for a job. I got a job within 8 months. I worked my butt off, and I actually worked during those 8 months about 6 to 7 hours per day for 5 days a week. That was doing everything that the Arapahoe County, that Aurora is part of, Arapahoe County workforce. Workforce is part of the unemployment office, so if you have an unemployment office in your county and you're trying to look for a job, see if they have the workforce center there as well, because you get free classes on interviews, dressing, how to write a resume and a cover letter. The biggest class that I got out of it was the cover letter. Like, you got to make yourself look different than anybody else, because they're getting 2,000 applications per job. How do you stand out? So all of that helped me a lot. They also can help you review and help you pay for certifications, whatever field you're in. I got my CompTIA A+ certification through the workforce, but I had to wait till I got hired for the company that I got hired for, pay for the test. All they do at Workforce Center is pay for the class. It's like a 2 to 3 week class, depending on the certification. Building, construction, IT, nursing, whatever certificate you need to do to get back up to speed. That is required for so many jobs these days. So, professional jobs, any high-end job. Even low-end jobs need certificates these days. So, anyway, I did that and actually got a job with New Access. New Access Innovations is a wonderful company. I've enjoyed working with them the past 7 years. 5 years with BLM and 2 years with Bureau of Safety Environmental. I forgot what it is. BSEE. It's just Bureau of Safety and Environmental Energy or something like that. I've been with BSEE for 2 years. I forgot what it stands for already. But we also did IT work for Bureau of Oceanic Energy Management, or Oceanic Environmental Management, and Office of Natural Resource Revenue, ONRR. So I did IT for all three bureaus, which are all combined to work with the oil industry, most part. 90% of it is oil industry and environmental impact. If you're out in the ocean or the Gulf of Mexico, is your oil well, your rig up to standards and not killing off fish, basically. If it's on land, are you digging into an archaeological find? Stuff like that. So we have a lot of professionals, archaeologists and scientists and oil industry experts in those three bureaus, finance people who take the royalties and the land lease payments and stuff like that, and doing all the finances. And then there's all the external oil industry users who are running the companies, the mom and pop companies that got their oil well in their backyard, hoping to hit it rich, pay dirt, literally. Um, and then you got Shell and BP and Exxon and the big boys. Yeah. So I worked with all of those for the last 2 years. I do apologize. I do have infected sinuses and throat caused by common head cold, and it's really acting up today. So that's what the sniffling is. I should have brought my Kleenex out with me, and I did not. Sorry. I'll just use my sleeve. No, I won't. I just washed this shirt. Anyway, so New Access is what it's got a private company that hires federal contractors. There are many federal contractors out there. And most of the federal contractors hire IT people. Most of the bureaus out there, most of the government IT departments are run by contractors. So I was on a contract. The contract had an open-ended date. Well, when you first get a contract, you have it for 6 months to 12 months, depending on the contract you sign. I think mine was 6 months, and after that, they had me sign another open-ended 6 months to make it a 12-month contract, and then if I'm still doing good, continue. They never closed it. I enjoyed working with BLM, except fire season. That got too stressful for me. The firefighters who were screaming at me, "You need to set up my phone now, I'm getting on the plane." Well, how long have you had the phone? 2 months. Well, you had 2 months. We don't do mobile devices, and you're getting on a plane. It's too late. And they would just scream at me about it. I got tired of the Karens within the firefighters, and I love the firefighters. I love what they do. I support them wholeheartedly, but I don't know. I don't want to call them prima donnas. Yes, those cell phones and iPads and mobile devices and walkie-talkies, that's their lifeline. That's their lifeline. But we always give that stuff to them 2 months in advance. And it wasn't our department to do that. We had another mobile device department to do that. And tickets put in. The other teams wouldn't see the tickets for 2-3 days. And we would get all kinds of crap, being yelled at every day on the phone. And that's what IT service desk is about, no matter whether you're in a corporation or in the federal government or state government. It's if you're on the tier 1 or tier 2 front desk, service desk, not front desk, but service desk, you better have emotions of steel. Yes, ma'am, I understand what you're saying, but we cannot do that, so we'll refer you to the team that can. No, sir, let's do this instead. Let me remote in and fix this for you. You become a robot. After 34 years, you really become a robot. And it's like, 34 years in IT. Customer service. Here's the thing. We have to be fake happy, and I can no longer be fake happy. I can't. When I am fake happy, hey everybody, they hate me at my job. It sounds so fake. You know that. I'm not going to sit there and talk to people and chit chat. I don't like chit chatting when I'm at work. I hate it. It's like, get them on the phone, get their stuff fixed, and get them off the phone. Is that a squirrel that just ran up the tree? I think it did. So that's basically my philosophy. Oh, that's the neighbor. Anyway, my philosophy is get them on the phone, fix their problem, or tell them who you're going to transfer it to, what team. Get their information, get them off the phone, because people want to chat and tell you, well, I got this computer 22 years ago and I've been in this company for 12, and you get the idea. And they contradict themselves sometimes. It's really bad. And then you get confused and you start asking them questions, and they say, "Did you listen to me?" Yeah, but you contradicted yourself. I'm trying to understand what you're saying and let me understand what the issue is. And half the time, they would just talk and talk and talk, and I had no idea what the issue was. "Okay, ma'am, what's your name?" "Okay, sir, let's start with your first name." They would give me their username. "Okay, who am I talking to?" What do you want me to call you? That sort of thing. And then you have, I don't like the term Karen. I know a lot of Karens are very nice. I got friends named Karen. I don't know where we started calling oversensitive, lack of a better term, bitchy people Karens. No, call them what they are. Bitchy people. That's what it is. um, so I try not to use Karens. If you got a different, more polite way of saying the assholes out there, that's a word we're not supposed to say on YouTube. I apologize. Kids, don't say it. But if I'm trying to find a polite way of saying it. Karen is not a polite way of saying it because there are a lot of nice Karens out there. Stop calling them Karens. I won't call them that. But we had a lot of those. We had a lot of them in Bessie too. So, to make this story as short as possible, I'm going to kind of go for the beginning and make it longer. Maybe. Anyway, I went to my brother and I went to my sister's house in Newton, Nebraska. Quaint little town. Nice Dillon's grocery store, which is a King Super. My sister was trying to tell my brother and I where everything was in the store, and we got it. We know this is a King Supers. My brother works inventory for RGIS, and he's on the King Supers team, so he's in King Supers every day, and I'm in King Supers at least once or twice a week. So it's like, yeah, we know it's over there. It's over in that aisle. It's my sister was like, "You've been here before? It's a King Supers. They're everywhere in Denver. We know. They're everywhere in Colorado." But that's the funny story from Newton, Nebraska. But I got a little bored there. But my sister did her best. We were there to deliver furniture and some of her stuff to get her started in her new home. She just moved there from Virginia. So, beautiful mobile home in a nice mobile home park. Boring place. Not much to do there. I took a walk. There's no paths through the woods. There's a stream, but there's no trail along the stream. And it's like, huh? That's because all the woods are lines of trees along streams, are irrigation ditches for all the cornfields. It's private property. So, yeah, keep people out of the canals and streams that are irrigating the fields. And you'll see lines of trees, cornfield, line of trees, cornfield. I got some video of it. We'll put it together, but I want to get this story out. But anyway, my sister and I and my brother, we were talking about this. I said, I want to retire. And I think September 30th is when I want to retire. And my sister was, yes, you need to. You've been unhappy. You could barely work when I was there at Thanksgiving. That's when I had pneumonia and RSV and COVID all at the same time. I was sick for 5 months. Still am, and now I've got the common cold. Yeah, I'm a Martian. I'm dying of a common cold. If you don't know that reference, go read War of the Worlds. So I told everybody in the family, well, my sister, my brother, this is what I was going to do, retire on September 30th. And my sister went on about how I needed to change my life, how I needed to get out of this house behind me. And she's right, and I've been talking about it for, well, since 2019 when I broke my back. And stuck in this house for 2 months. Well, more than that. I was stuck in this house for almost a year, unless somebody came and picked me up to take me to my appointments. And being stuck in a construction zone is, yeah, that's when they were building the light rail and all the apartments around here. They're still building stuff, and it's like, ugh, ugh. Anyway, she was very supportive and told me I need to change my life and you need to do what you need to do, speech. And then turned to my brother, have you found a place to live yet? And he said, well, I'll think of something. She said, well, she just told us September 30th. You better think of something fast. And he sat there playing on the phone. He was paying attention, he heard, but he wasn't listening. And he hasn't been listening to me at all on this. He thinks it's going to take a year to sell this house. No, it's going to sell in a month around here because the light rail station and how much cheaper it is here in this neighborhood in Aurora than it is off the Isle light rail station than it is anywhere else in Denver. People are coming here because of the cheap houses. And it is cheap at $500,000 because every place else it's $700,000 to $800,000. So yeah, people are coming in here and buying $500,000 houses that are next to light rail stations and the freeway and everything. It's location here. Unfortunately, it's also location here. Aurora is not the best city to live in. Crime. A lot of crime around here. Anyway, so my sister put on her mama hat. She was a stay-at-home mom her whole adult life, raising 2 boys that are now in their 30s. So she bought this mobile home, her first home on her own, and living her life on her terms for the first time ever. I'm proud of her. And she's convinced me, yeah, I need to do the same. Stop taking care of everybody else, start taking care of myself. And she's right. And that's what I'm doing. So we got back home on the 2nd. On the 3rd, I was in the hospital getting diagnosed with the sinus infection, throat infection from the common cold that I still have. And then on Wednesday, the 4th, let's see, 2nd was Monday, Tuesday was 3rd, Wednesday the 4th, while I was hacking and coughing and taking phone calls and stuff, I was doing this between the calls, I found some retirement letter templates online. Found 2 or 3 that I liked more than the others. Went through like 20, 30 of them. I don't know how many. Combined them, scratching out, kind of made my own to reflect what I wanted to say without being nasty about it. Just saying I got a lot of health issues, and Jadon and I had planned to retire in Kingman, Arizona anyway. It's time. I've talked to my siblings. They say it's time, and it is. It's time. Sent the letter out to my supervisor, manager, lead, and the HR director for New Access. Forgot the new director. Didn't really get chewed out for it, but the new director was not happy about it. I don't think he was, because 2 months ago, I got a complaint from somebody higher up that was a bitchy person. It kept me late for half an hour. I don't like being late after my shift. I was working after my shift because he wouldn't stop bitching me out. He wouldn't stop yelling at me. I said, sir, how do you feel if I yelled at you for half an hour? He said, you should have gotten this done. Well, you won't answer my questions, and I'm on overtime right now, and I have to put in paperwork now. He said, well, not my fault. This is a federal employee, not a contractor, but a federal employee higher up. And he said, I don't care. You get this done now. And I said, I can't. I don't have access to that system. I need information for the ticket, and I need, you're telling me 3 different things that are wrong, and I can't figure out what you want me to put the ticket in for, what the actual issue is. At that point, he says, you haven't listened to a word I said, and I'm going to talk to your supervisor, blah, 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 blah. And I said, I did listen. It was a complaint from 2 months ago. My director saw it, and I think there was another complaint even earlier. And then there was another complaint that my supervisor said she wasn't going to tell me who or what was for or anything. There's a plane overhead. Give me a moment. So I put in that retirement notice for September 30th, put it in on the 5th. Last Thursday on the 12th, the day before Colorado Festival of Horror, on the 12th, they started their meetings in the conference room. It had always been on a Teams chat with camera and microphones and stuff. Which means you had to get dressed from your waist up. And I hated that. Every Thursday I said, why do you need cameras for that? I'm not putting this on YouTube. Because the supervisor wants to see all of our happy faces. And I'm like, every meeting. Really? Because I wasn't allowed to talk most of the time. And every time I asked a question about something that had just been said, the supervisor and the new lead, who is a young 20-something straight out of college, who's like, well, figure it out, Lynelle. Just figure it out. I said, does anybody else understand what was just said? And they're all like, no, we didn't understand either. And she would talk to, and somebody else would ask the exact same question, and she would answer them, but would never answer me. And the lead was not somebody I got along with very well. I didn't care for her and her tactics. She had been trying to get rid of me for some time. And I think she had complained about me in some meetings that I wasn't aware of. I think she's the one that was trying to get rid of me all this time, for at least a year. So on Thursday after the meeting, and it was just me on the chat, and there was them in the conference room, and I could see all of them. So the older people, there were 3 older people besides my supervisor, all of us in our 60s. I'm the last of 3 to retire, and I'm retiring right after the person had been there for 12 years from the very beginning, and my supervisor's friend at work. As soon as she retired on the 3rd, I was at the hospital on the 3rd, Tuesday after Labor Day. And I put my notice in on the 5th. And I think that hurt my supervisor big time because, she had to do double paperwork, double exit clearances, offboarding, double the work. And she was on vacation that week when I turned it in. She got pissed off that she had to do the exit clearance to start it. And I said, you could have waited till Monday to start it. I'm not going anywhere for 3 weeks. It doesn't take a week and a half to 2 weeks to offboard me. Not really. If it takes more than 2 weeks to offboard somebody, it's not a company I want to work for anyway. Right? So on Thursday, the 12th, right after the meeting, I've noticed that my supervisor, she's in her 60s as well, was surrounded by 20-somethings. And here I am at home, remote worker, on the Teams chat through the TV. I'd take the notes and put up the agenda because all of them forgot their laptops. So I'm the one that had to take care of all the laptop stuff during the meeting. Take all the notes. And I volunteer because I have my laptop up and ready to go. And the agenda was up and the note-taking section was up. So everything was up for me. And I volunteered. And they said, yeah, that's a big problem about having the meeting in the conference room. Nobody's there to read the agenda or take notes. I said, do what we've been doing for 40, 50 years, even longer. Take notes with pen and paper. And then just type it in when you get back to your desk, whoever's the note taker. God, we can't take notes because we don't have our laptop? You've never heard of pen and paper? Really? It was like, I was laughing through the whole thing. Laughing like, and they were joking around. These 20 years were telling jokes that I didn't understand, not my generation. What's that got to do with work? Twice my supervisor said, Lynelle has resigned. And one of the people, one of my team members in the conference room said, I thought she was retiring. And my supervisor was like, oh, yeah, she's retiring. But she's resigning. No, I'm retiring. Been in this business for 34 years. I'm retiring. I was just spending the last 2 years on a screwed up bureau. It really is screwed up. The IT department there is, it's lacking in coherency. It's not coherent. It's not gelled and meshed together, and our external users can't even use the system. It's not user-friendly at all. And it's not IT-friendly either. Not at all. So after the meeting, my supervisor calls me and said, I got good news and bad news. And I'm like, uh-oh, because when she said that, it's always bad news. It's never good news, ever, out of her. So she said, we're letting you go today, but we're going to pay you through September 30th, and it's going to be overhead. You don't have to do timesheets or anything. You turn in your timesheet today, because I had Friday off anyway for Festival of Horror. She asked what time Friday you want to come and bring your equipment. I said, can we do it Monday? I've got PTO day off tomorrow, and I have to be at the hotel at 10 for setup. There's no, unless you want to meet at 8 o'clock in the morning. I don't want to drive all the way to Federal Center Friday morning and then all the way down to Park Meadows. She said, oh, okay, we could do it Monday. But she was saying, we'll pay you till the 30th. I said, 30th is my retirement day. Yep, we know you're resigning. I said, stop saying it resigning. I'm retiring. And I didn't appreciate you saying resigning to everybody in the meeting. I retired. That was a retirement letter. 34 years in IT. I'm retiring from IT. Just because I was with you in your bureau for 2 years doesn't mean I only worked in IT for 2 years. I've been working in IT for 34. Longer than you have. She's only been in IT for 12. And she doesn't know that much about it. Not really. I don't know where she got her IT experience, but she goes to meetings and does what sysadmins tell her to do, and then she'll write up something. Okay, this is what we're going to do. No, sysadmins were telling you to do it, not for us to do it, because we don't have access to those systems. She didn't get the concept. And it was rather obvious from my perspective, within the first week, she didn't know IT at all. Not really. Um, so I said during this phone call on Thursday, so what you're telling me is you're firing me 2 weeks before my retirement, but you're paying me till my retirement 2 weeks paid leave. Yes. And what's the bad news? There's good and bad news. So, well, the bad news, we're getting let go today. Well, your last day is Monday the 16th. I said, so 2 weeks paid leave. You pay me full paid leave to take 2 weeks off before my retirement. And that's bad news? I don't get it. I just didn't. So we made arrangements to meet in Henderson, Colorado. She lives in Brighton. Henderson and a McDonald's, which is halfway between Aurora and Brighton, off of US 85, at 10:30. So I took out my equipment up there. I made a full list of everything I'm returning with the signature, employee signature and supervisor signature, because the federal government, and I talked to somebody at the Festival of Horror who worked at DOD, said, oh no, you should be returning that to desktop, and they're supposed to have a signed list of everything that you return, and you're supposed to sign it. They're supposed to sign it as received. That's federal government. I said, yeah, I've done that with Xanterra Parks and Resorts. I did that with BLM. I feel like putting on my Men in Black suit with the glasses, and I have a black locking hard case rolling suitcase. I was going to put everything in there and put a handcuff on me on the suitcase and roll it into McDonald's. Say, okay, I got the government goods for you. Sign here, ma'am. Okay, thank you. Have a good day. That's what I wanted to do. But turned out I didn't need the Men in Black thing. And I didn't need the attaché case with the handcuff on it. Didn't need that. This morning, it took me all of 10 minutes to write an inventory, took the pictures of everything I'm returning, and where each equipment belongs to. Some of it belongs to the federal government, some belongs to New Access. And I had employee signature, supervisor and signature. And I said, okay, I'm not going to tell anybody her name or any names. I told the supervisor we met at McDonald's outside on the patio furniture, the patio chairs, tables. It's outside the McDonald's there in Henderson. Nice McDonald's, but they were, I believe those were all from inside at one point because they're doing reconstruction. About the only thing that was open was the drive-through. You couldn't go in and order because there were construction going on. So outside, I said, now, Miss Supervisor, I've got this document to sign. It lists everything, and it's because I had a friend that works in security for DOD, and he suggested this. So, oh, yeah, I was going to do that. And I said, well, thank God I did it. Oh, okay. And she signed it happily, 2 copies, one for me, one for her, very happily. She was like, oh, I'm willing to sign it. Yeah, just to prove she got the equipment. And I said, it's to cover you as much as me, make sure that everything's in, cross your eyes, cross your T's, dot your I's. Sorry, I used to say cross your I's, dot your T's, and confuse everybody. But it's cross your T's and dot your I's, making sure that we're both are covered, that everything's signed, that yes, I did give you this equipment. Here is the paperwork I received when I received the equipment from the desktop, so give that to them. Okay. And she was all like giggly and laughing and, okay, that's fine, I'll just sign it, And she threw it all in her car and left. Threw it all in her car. And I said, okay. And then she wouldn't even, it was kind of forced hug. I was going to give her a hug. She was like, yeah. Okay, see ya. Have fun. Threw it in her car and left as I was walking to my car. And it's like she was all giggly, like, yay, I got rid of her. That's how it felt. That was this morning. And I was like, yay, I'm free. And now I'm all giggly. I was like, I had a whole speech if she didn't sign it. And if she refused, I would said, refused to sign on it. But yes, she was agreed to that. Oh, I was going to do that and email it to you. And I said, no, we'll just do it right now because you don't have my email. You're cutting off my work email, both New Access and the federal government email. How are you going to email me? Do you know my personal email? I wasn't going to give you my personal email. Let's just do it right now. So, yeah. 5 minutes to turn in my equipment. An hour to get there. 5 minutes. Well, not quite. It was like 45 minutes in traffic. So, I am officially retired. I do get paid through the 30th, so I get another check on the 25th for the timesheet I turned in last Thursday on the 12th, and then I will get another paycheck on October 10th for the 2 weeks from the 16th through the 30th. That was the next pay period anyway. And I had asked the HR, should I fill out my timesheet every day for those 2 weeks? You know, I'm more than happy. She said no, because there's a different code that I don't have access to that they're going to put in, and they're just going to put in instead of day by day code, they're just going to put in a complete code for the 2 weeks, and just say from 9:16 to 9:30 she gets this much pay. So I'm going to make sure I get my full pay. They did not give me my full pay on the 10th of this month. The reason why, they only gave me 16 hours of PTO, and I said, what the hell? Well, you put in the rest of the week is leave without pay, and I took a screenshot of the timesheet I turned in. It's all done online. I said, this is what I turned in. And they said, that's not what we got. And I said, talk to my supervisor. My supervisor turned in the wrong one. But they did wire transfer the money. This was on Monday, I believe. Was it Monday? Yeah. They wire transferred it that day. So I got my money so I could pay my mortgage. I said, yeah, I got to pay my mortgage. No, it was on Tuesday they wired it because my mortgage was due on the 15th. I was going to be at a convention. I wanted to pay it on the 12th. So they wire transferred it on the 10th. Yeah, Tuesday the 10th. So they screwed up my paycheck for the first time in 7 years. And I think it's because my supervisor was trying to not pay me. I said, I worked. I turned in that timesheet. If you don't want to pay me the last 2 weeks, that's up to them. But they decided, yeah. She said at least pay her the last 2 weeks because she's retiring on the 30th. I will get at least 2 hours of PTO, possibly 5. I think I get 5 hours on this paycheck, and then on the 25th, and 5 hours. So I should have 10 to 12 hours of PTO that I've accrued, that they'll pay me for that as well. So I hope this video wasn't too long. I do have a lot of plans in the works. I've got a lot of next 2 weeks, next 4 weeks. I'm hoping to put the house on sale by October 10th through the 15th, somewhere in there. We're going to get a roll-off on Monday the 23rd, and start on the backyard and some of the stuff on the front yard as well. I got to research tonight tree services to trim my trees and get rid of this nasty bush I have in front of it's half dead, in front of my window. Get rid of that and the cement blocks. There's like chunks of cement. I don't know where those came from, but I want that all cleaned up, cleared out. Clean up the front yard. We're going to clean up the yards next week, but I'm going to start tomorrow morning, or actually this afternoon. I'm going to bring some boxes out of the garage and start loading up the storage shed again. But I'm going to work on it 8 to 10 hours a day and get it done. I got a lot more time to do it now, a lot more stuff I can do. And this video is going a little bit more than I wanted to, about 40 minutes so far, but I wanted to let you all know what's going on in my life, that I'm officially retired. Yes, I'm happy. Weird, but happy. I don't know how to feel about it. Getting fired 2 weeks, but we're going to pay you anyway. Kind of weird. I'm taking it as a blessing. Equipment's turned in. I don't care anymore. I'm done with government work. I'm done with IT. Just, I could work a few more years on something else. Hopefully sometime in November, after I get a solid offer with a closing date on this house. That's when I'll go up to Kingman to buy my 2 acres of land that I saw. They got a lot of 2-acre lots. Anywhere from an acre to 10 acres. Find a lot that I like. In Golden Valley, about 20 minutes from Kingman. Out in the desert, 15 to 20 minutes. I-40 is there. 93 to go south to Phoenix is there. Route 66. Get your kicks on Route 66. Okay, maybe it's Route 66. I've seen it. I'm going to do the Route 66 trip, the whole thing, in 2026 for the 100th anniversary. Yeah, I got that plan. Got lots of plans coming up. Because this video is getting a little long, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up, and we will do another one of these, let you know what my plans are once I get settled into Kingman. I got plans for February, April, May, June, and September, and possibly October. We'll see. I won't be traveling a whole lot in the summer, but I will be traveling a lot. But after June, between June and September, I'll have to figure out some stuff. I may just come back to Colorado and the BLM lands and just hang out for 2 weeks at a time and just keep moving around for a little bit while it's hot as hell in Kingman. But I could probably stay in whatever place I build there, as long as I got a good air conditioner and fans. But anyway, I hope you all are having a wonderful day. I'm retired. We had my retirement party at the Colorado Festival of Horror, and I'm still yeah, I overdid it. Drink after drink. It was great. I only had like 3 drinks, but they were big drinks. Yeah. A couple of margaritas and a bourbon. So I had fun. I will give you a video of that later, and a video of my plans, of where I'm going, and what's happening with the van, which is, it needs a little bit of electrical work, but not much, and everything else. So peace out. Everybody have a good day, and maybe that should be my end. Peace out. Love y'all.